Hello, it's been a while since the last video. So today just wanted to kind of make an interesting video to compare Moomoo and also Rakuten Trade's pricing. I won't go towards the details of how each of the broker works. I believe there's a lot of videos out there. But for me as a Kamsiap investor, I just want to focus on the pricing lah. So without further ado, I will bring up a Google Sheet over here. Okay, without further ado, here is the Google Sheet that I kind of created. So in this Google Sheet, I will kind of talk about Moomoo and Rakuten Trade, the different platform, all the total fees that you will pay for different scenarios for Bursa Malaysia and also US stock market. So without further ado, let's go ahead. So let's start with Bursa Malaysia, as I believe everyone started somewhere and I personally started in Bursa Malaysia. So let's start with Moomoo. So there are different fees over here, but I think why I highlight green is because the clearing fee and stamp duty fee are the fees that you provide to the government of Malaysia, and it's actually the same for both platforms, right? So I don't think it's a good measure to compare, but I will just compare the commission fee and also the platform fee. So starting with Moomoo, right, commission fee, they charge 0.03% for your order value with a minimum charge of 1 ringgit, right? So as a new user, I think the first 180 days you are able to get this for free. And while Rakuten Trade, they have 3 different tiers. One is the 7 ringgit tier where if your trade size is less than 1,000 ringgit, then you are get charged by 7 ringgit commission fee. If your trade is in between 1k to 10k, then this is the 9 ringgit they will charge, and the any tier, any amount above, they will charge you 0.1% with a minimum charge of 10 ringgit up to 100 ringgit. So at first glance, you can already see that actually Moomoo is quite cheap over here, but I will move on. So platform fee is something that only Moomoo charges, but Rakuten Trade does not charge. You see 0 ringgit here. So Moomoo actually charge 3 ringgit per order, so per trade lah basically, right? So the clearing fee is all, as I said before, is all paid by the government, but in the calculator below, I actually included it just as an overview lah. You can see the formula over here. So I prepared 3 different scenarios, right? So let's say low, mid, high. So let's say you just started in the Bursa stock market, right? Then obviously your trade size is actually smaller. So let's assume that it's 1,000 ringgit. Then you can see that Moomoo is 5 ringgit 30 cents charge, while Rakuten Trade total fees will be 8 ringgit 30 cents. So you can kind of see that, wow, actually the fees actually is quite different lah. Like 3 ringgit is easily like a small pack of nasi lemak already. So what about 5,000 ringgit, right? 5,000 ringgit, maybe you save for 2 months, 3 months, right? Then you want to one-shot buy in Bursa Malaysia. Then 5,000 ringgit scenario, Moomoo actually charge you 11 ringgit, while Rakuten Trade will actually charge you 15 ringgit 50 cents. So this is the slight difference over here. Or what if you are richer, right? 10,000 ringgit, you one shot want to throw in Bursa to buy Maybank stock, for example, top financial advice. Moomoo actually charges you 19 ringgit, while Rakuten Trade charges you 23 ringgit. So you can see in this comparison itself, right, Moomoo consistently has been charging lower than Rakuten Trade lah. So yeah, I think this calculator is built in a way where you can change the yellow side, right? And you can kind of manipulate it, and the calculator will reflect it accordingly lah. So for example, let's say you got a bonus and you want to one shot in Bursa Malaysia, right? Then you get, let's say, 50k bonus, amazing. Then your per trade size, Moomoo charges you 83 ringgit, while Rakuten actually charge you 115 ringgit. So this is actually a difference of 32 ringgit, which is a good meal in Malaysia already. Okay, so moving on, let me re-zero these, right? So I will share out this sheet as well for you guys to refer. So moving on to the US stock market. So US stock market is slightly different, right? They split to normal and fractional. I will kind of explain it as well, right? So for normal is where you buy perfect units, there's no fractional share, right? So let's just go to the normal scenario. Moomoo charge you commission fee of 0.03% of your transaction value for the US stock market, while RakutenTrade charge you 0.1% with a minimum charge of $1.88 up to maximum of $25. And the platform fee is very similar to how Bursa is, right? Platform fee, Moomoo do charge $0.99 per order, while RakutenTrade charge $0. So if you see below, right, there's settlement fee, there's SEC fee, there's trading activity fee, stamp duty fee. All these fee actually is the same across both platforms. And I don't really want to compare them and include it in the calculation because it's just complicated. Why complicate life, right? So, and this is not a huge amount. For example, let's say sell only, maybe it's like 0, all this is very small amount. So it's more like negligible. So I don't want to compare. So the main comparison is actually the commission fee and sort of platform fee, right? So I've also prepared 3 different scenarios over here, right? Where you can see $100. So let's say you want to every month dollar cost average to S&P 500 in US stock market, right? So you only have $100 a month. So $100, let's assume that you buy a one share lah. You're not buying fractional share lah, but most likely it's fractional with $100. But let's just assume it's one share because of normal scenario. So Moomoo will actually charge you $1.02, while because of the minimum amount charged by RakutenTrade is $1.88, which is quite expensive compared to Moomoo, right? So, but let's assume that $100 you only get 0.5 shares because $100 US stock market actually quite expensive lah in terms of the price, right? So 0.5 shares, you can kind of see, right? Actually, Moomoo charge you $0.99 only because if you take a look at the fractional section over here, Moomoo waive the commission fee if you use fractional share, and the platform fee is actually capped by $0.99 per trade. So if you see $100, right, you buy 0.5 share, for example, the difference, right, for RakutenTrade versus Moomoo is almost 2 times difference, you know. So it's like, yeah, it's just no-brainer lah, right? So let's just assume, right, $1,000, maybe this is like a quarterly DCA to the US stock market. Then let's say $1,000, you buy 1 share lah, for example. I don't want to do the fractional share thing already. $1,000, then you can actually see, right, Moomoo charge $1.29, while RakutenTrade still remains at $1.88. So because of the minimum, right? So very easy one, right? So 0.1% for RakutenTrade, right? 0.1%, you multiply by 1,000, right? The actual total cost should be $1, but actually because of their minimum, right, then it's $1.88 lah. So too bad over here. So consistently, Moomoo has also beaten RakutenTrade in this regard. So for the next scenario, which is $10,000. In $10,000, let's say it's around 45,000 ringgit. Assuming that you get a bonus, right? Annually bonus, amazing. You want to one shot buy US stock market and assume that maybe you have you should buy 5 shares lah. It doesn't matter over here anyway for the normal scenario. $10,000 you buy, just assume 1 share, it doesn't matter anyway. $10,000 you can see that Moomoo actually charge you $3.99, while RakutenTrade actually charge you $10 over here. So it is quite a huge difference. It's actually a $6 difference, which $6 multiplied by 4.5 is at 27 ringgit lah. So 27 ringgit is also a good meal in Malaysia already. So yeah, all in law, right, you can kind of see in this sheet you can manipulate yourself, your different scenarios to kind of check whether how much estimation. For US is definitely estimation because I didn't include all these fees, right? But it's very, very close, it's negligible anyway. So you guys can use this calculator to estimate the fees that you're going to pay for Moomoo or RakutenTrade if you are more comfortable with RakutenTrade. Bursa Malaysia as well. Bursa Malaysia, I actually included all the fees already. So this is actually the more accurate one. You can kind of manipulate your size. For example, let's say some people like 7, 8 for a trade size, for example. then you can kind of compare the fees as well. So hopefully this video helps you out. I hope you find it valuable. I will link the Google Sheet in the description below. You guys can copy and manipulate around, and do let me know as well if my calculation, my formula has any issue over here. If you found any issue, do let me know as well. So yeah, hope you guys like this video. Yeah, have a good day.